informational.com. I want to quickly describe what we're all about and how we bring value to the industry. First thing is that we're an informational resource in the ground source heat pump industry. What that means is that everything that we do, we're trying to provide a valuable learning experience for the consumers that are out there seeking information about geothermal heat pumps, ground source heat pumps, whatever you want to call them. We think that one of the largest hurdles that the industry faces is that the public is not aware of the advantages of geothermal heat pumps to the extent that they could be, and we hope to provide that valuable learning experience for them so that they're able to see not only the advantages but the different types of applications compatible with forced air, radiant systems, different loop types, all the questions that they're going to have with regard to these systems, going to kind of bring them up to speed on it. What we're going to do then is combine that with a directory of professionals so that after that consumer's been on the site, they've got some information, they're a little bit more educated now as to the technology, a little bit more comfortable with it, they can now find a professional in their area to do the installation. We think this provides value in a number of different ways. First thing is that today consumers are seeking information online more than any other place. It's generally the first place they go is on their computer, type it into Google, find some results, learn, and just self-educate themselves as to what that technology is. Okay, we understand this, and we specifically built geothermalhelp.com to meet those very questions that the consumers have about the industry and get that information in front of them, provide that valuable learning experience. So the consumers are seeking the information, and they are finding us because we're providing that very information. Okay, the informed consumers are a benefit to everyone. The more informed they are, the more that they're going to understand the advantages of the ground source heat pump systems over the maybe more simple systems of a furnace or a boiler that have much fewer variables in them, are a much more simple solution, but they're not a better solution. So the informed consumers benefit everyone because they two ways. Number one, they're more receptive to the better solution versus the easy solution. And number two, there's a lot of information that has to go into getting that consumer to a point to where they're comfortable with the technology and where they really are seeking somebody to put that in. As most of the installers out there know, anytime you've got a consumer coming in that hasn't been familiar with these systems before, they have an enormous amount of questions. They're very curious as to how this technology works and the advantages that they'll get from it. And it takes a lot of time to provide all that information. So as much as we can help provide that before they actually get to the industry professional in their region, it just alleviates that time that they had to spend holding that consumer's hand, bringing up their confidence level, making them aware of all the different variables that go into these systems. Okay, and what that results in is fewer missed opportunities and more ground source heat pump jobs. You know, I've seen a lot of new construction happening out here in Montana where I believe that a ground source heat pump would have been the objective better system to have put in, and yet the either consumer didn't know about it, the general contractor may not have known about it, there may not have been a qualified professional in the area, or the one that was chosen wasn't familiar with ground source heat pumps. And had we been able to get the right information in the hands of the right people in time, there would have been an installation of a ground source heat pump rather than a conventional system. So I see those as missed opportunities, and what we want to do is educate as many people as we can, make them aware of these advantages, and then that will result in fewer missed opportunities. And I don't mean that in every situation a ground source heat pump is the better system, but in many situations it is, and I've seen a lot of them go with the conventional alternative anyway, and it was simply a matter of not having the information in front of the right people at the right time. The directory is part of an active site. So what that means is this directory of professionals that we have on here is part of the informational resource and part of the forums and part of every other asset that we have on that site. Most directories are not like that. Most directories are simply a list of businesses or whatever industry that they're talking about, a list of those providers, and that's about the extent of the value that they're offering. And because of that, they don't get an enormous amount of traffic. They don't get a consumer on there that's actively, on one hand, learning about the technology, and on the other hand, finding that industry professional in their region that can provide it to them. So it adds something by combining these two things. The value is then more than the value of each one individually. And then the final point I'll make is that these professionals that are on the directory have the ability to contribute to the site and to promote their business. So what that means is that not only do we have a listing in the directory of that local professional, but that person can go on our forums, they can answer questions, they can submit articles to the site, and they can submit a job, an install. They can showcase some of their installations in their area. And we encourage all of that because it simply adds value to any consumer anywhere in the country or Canada that's trying to get information about these. So it gets them good information, and at the same time it allows our directory partners to promote their own businesses. So the more they're contributing to the site, the more that they're using this site as a springboard of perhaps their own website or just promoting their own business even if they don't have a website. We encourage all that. We think it helps everybody, and we think it'll grow the industry and result in more ground source heat pumps being installed, fewer missed opportunities, and a more aware public as to the advantages. Thanks for visiting.